Good morning. Welcome to the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. March 2nd, 2024. This would be episode 94. This is yet another travel edition. While I am recording this, I am actually walking down the quaint streets of a quiet little town known as Cape May, New Jersey. I was actually going to try to film this selfie style, but it's just way too dark. You wouldn't even be able to see me. I'll throw one little flip up there, but I think that would be annoying, so I will just do my standard logo as I catch you all up on the dreams, hopes, and ambitions of myself, stand-up comedian and actor and improviser, Paul Green. And this is a podcast for dreamers by a dreamer. And this has been a interesting day so far. So, by the way, I'm releasing this the next morning, so I'm referring to yesterday, March 1st. So I took a red-eye flight, which I've never actually done before, out of Phoenix, Arizona. I flew it at 1 in the morning and then flew into Minneapolis and hung out in Minneapolis for a couple hours, and then flew into Philadelphia, where I met up with my stand-up comedian friend, a very, very funny, talented comedian named Andrew Norelli. If you want to do yourself a favor, go search Andrew Norelli in YouTube and check out his David Letterman set that he did a few years ago. It is one of the funniest late-night sets that I've ever seen. I have watched it multiple times. So he invited me and booked me to do a very interesting gig. It's kind of hard to explain all the ins and outs. So ultimately, it's his sister and brother-in-law, or maybe brother and sister-in-law. Oh, geez. I better get all these details straight by tomorrow night. They have some close friends out here in Cape May, New Jersey. They're like the local realtors and have been very successful. And they have a charity, and they do a comedy show as part of this charity. And because Andrew is a lifelong friend, I guess he's known these people for almost 20 years, sounded like. So anyway, they do this like charity fundraiser type gig, and they book Andrew to come out and perform. And Andrew decided, hey, instead of me doing the whole show, why don't I bring out my boy, the one and only Paul Green, and we will do this show together. That way I can, do about 20, 30 minutes, take some of the show burden off of him. And, what's kind of interesting is I'm walking around this small town. I had mentioned that his buddies are local realtors. And it just so happens that right now I am walking right by their real estate office. Maybe I'll kick the camera on for those of you watching on YouTube. So, right here is the Desatnik. I know that lighting is kind of not agreeing with the camera. So this is the Desatnik real estate office right here in Cape Town, New Jersey. Just this quaint little town. Ooh, that lighting looks really good. Hey, everybody. Hello. Sorry, I'm not going to keep it on. Mostly I've just been walking down these kind of dark streets with just these beautiful architecture. Can you guys see those houses? Just look at these old school Victorian style homes. Early America, early Americana. Ooh, let's see if that sign looks a little better. Yeah, there you go. That one looks better. So Desatnik Real Estate. So again, those are the friends of my good buddy. And so they book him. He comes out, he does this show. He invited me to come along, and we are just chilling right now. The DeSatniks have a guest house on one of their properties, and so we are hanging out there. And I decided to go for a little walk because there is absolutely nothing to do in this town. The nearest movie theater is about 20 minutes away, and by the time I looked at movies, all of the latest movies were playing. The next big attraction is Atlantic City, which, not really gonna make my way up to Atlantic City. I am not a gambling man, as it were. So I figured I would just go for a little stroll, get a little exercise, get some of this crisp southern New Jersey air. It's about 40 degrees, so being a man from Arizona, it might as well be 0. But, just having these opportunities, I just keep on going back to this idea of when you're pursuing a dream, there is always these experiences that will emerge that sort of seem to come out of nowhere. And you just get to do unique things. I think that is part of, when you doing the pro and con analysis. On the pro side, is things like this happen to where somebody who who trusts you, who knows you're good at what you do, wants to give you opportunities to, go make a little money, connect, have an opportunity to perform, share the stage with you. And next thing I know, I'm flying into Philadelphia. I've never been to Philadelphia before. I've never been to this part of New Jersey before. I'm going down to Washington, D.C. to hang out for a couple of days. Never been to D.C. before. And all of these experiences, just in one weekend, because I'm just trying to pursue my dream, you know what I mean? And not doing it perfectly. It is definitely not always all fun and games and excitement. There is a lot of, hopping on a plane at 1 a.m. and getting almost no sleep. Oh my gosh. I used to think that the worst thing that could happen on a plane, besides like tragedy, like, okay, you know what I mean, is, one of the worst things is when you get a baby stuck behind you. Well, I have recently learned that there is something worse, and that is having 3 teenage girls who would not stop gabbing from Minneapolis to Philadelphia for 2 hours straight, a flight that left at 7 a.m. after I had been on a plane since 1 a.m. and had gotten almost no sleep except for, just sort of the, the little couple winks that I could get while on an airplane. And these girls, bless their heart, started gabbing nonstop, loud, high energy from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right behind me. Just, oh my gosh, yeah. And then I wasn't like playing chess, but I did battle chess, and then but anyway, so then I was thinking well, maybe if we just but then oh my gosh, and then but I like blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. And me and this woman next to me looked like it was a mother, and actually I think her daughter was probably about the same age. There was this one part in the flight. I don't know about you, but I pretty much am very much in my own world. I'm not a talk people up. I don't talk to the strangers. even though they're right next to me. I'm very introverted. That's uncomfortable for me. So I hadn't talked to the lady sitting right next to me the whole flight. And then like an hour in, I'm finally just like, oh my gosh, these women behind me are not going to shut up. And I just happened to look over for one brief moment, and me and this woman make eye contact. And we just have that moment of like, oh yeah, you also want to kill yourself? Okay, good. We are on the same page. We are having a genuine human connection here for this brief split second while we are experiencing the same humanity together. So anyway, whatever. But that's the thing. At the same time, what was I doing with that flight? Flying out to Philadelphia for a chance to perform with my good buddy Andrew Norelli, perform in front of, it's even a little bit more, I think it's a bigger compliment, because not only is this more of a corporate gig, these are personal friends of his, like lifelong friends of his. So the fact that he would not only invite me to do this, but really trust me with a pretty sacred relationship. I mean, as you know, your reputation is everything. And bookers make decisions based off of referrals and reputations all the time. This just happened to me last night, or Thursday night when I was at that open mic. I was talking to a booker who has me lined up to do a show for him in July, and he was looking for an opener for me. And he mentioned somebody who was thinking of using and asked me what I thought of that opener. And the truth was, I didn't have a low opinion of his comedy, but I didn't have a high opinion of his comedy. I just said, I think he's all right. Which is honestly, legitimately what I thought. Like, I don't have any problem with him, as a human, as a person. But yeah, I just was not, I had seen him perform once, and I thought that his act was, it was just okay, but not, not great. And the booker really took that to heart and just said, okay, well, good to know. So, that's huge. It's very, very sacred when another performer recommends you, and in this case, not only recommends you for, just sort of like a corporate gig, which maybe there's not a lot of emotional attachment, but recommends you for a gig with people who, like, he's close friends with, who he, like, knows personally and knows intimately. So, that is a huge, huge compliment. So I will be very much looking forward to that show tonight. Last night we had a chance to go to dinner with two of his buddies, and they're just really, really cool people. It just seems like just really high energy, fun people who are excited for the show. So I am very much looking forward to performing here in Cape May, New Jersey. And I will check in with you tomorrow and let you know how the show goes. So to all of you out there pursuing those dreams, keep at it. I hope that you are experiencing the pros, the good side, the fun side, the experience side of following your dreams. And if you're in a bit of a slump or having some negative experiences, I hear you. Hopefully you are finding the courage and the willpower to move forward and continue to pursue what is in your heart. So thank you so much for listening today. This is episode 94, March 2nd, 2024 of the Paul Green Comedy Podcast, a podcast by a dreamer for you beautiful dreamers out there. I love you all so much. Have a good one, and I will talk to you tomorrow.